episode of Just Passing Through is brought to you by the Original Help Center, bowtuningtips.com, Bow Grip Bow Vice, get a grip, Rest Rocket, feel the power, and Grim Reaper Broadheads, watch them drop. Hey everybody, welcome to the new episode of Just Passing Through. In case you guys don't know who I am, my name is Kenny Parson. I was the host of the original Just Passing Through that aired on Sportsman Channel in 2010. Well, you know, these episodes are coming up now are going to be completely different than anything you've ever seen. We're doing it all 100% online. It's all 100% free. We have very minimum sponsor coverage, as you're going to see in this episode. We're not like the TV shows. We got all this glitz and glamour, blah, 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 spending, too much money on all that stuff. Hey, man, I'll be straight honest with you. I got very few sponsors. And to be honest with you, I don't want very many sponsors because the fact is they call the shots too much and they absolutely commercialize and screw up hunting shows as far as I'm concerned. And I know from listening to what I've been seeing on a lot of the forums and through a lot of emails that you guys are just sick and tired of all that crap. Another thing you're not going to see. You're not going to see a whole bunch of episodes of us just whacking white-tailed deer left and right, big monster bucks and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. For number one, I'm lucky if I ever get one in a year, a big monster buck. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I hunt. And I'm going to show you the places that I hunt. I'm going to introduce you to the people that I hunt with. And if I do hunt with a guide, I'm going to introduce you to who those people really are. Down-to-earth people. Because, if you don't know me, I don't go for a whole lot of this big, glitzy, glamorous stuff that these guys do. Like, hey, I'm the number one outfitter. I got all these Boone and Crockett. Who gives a rat's bahootie? Man, it's straight up like this. I like to go hunting. I like to have fun. I like to be around cool people. And if I kill a big deer, that's great. If I don't, that's great too. We're going to be hunting all kinds of stuff. We're going to be hunting deer, of course. I'm not going to lie. We're going to be hunting turkey. That's a gimme. But we're going to be hunting bears. We're going to be hunting antelope. We're going to be hunting rabbits. We're going to be hunting squirrels. Yeah, we're going to be using a bow. We're going to be using a crossbow. We're going to be using a gun occasionally. We're going to be doing all that kind of stuff. And I know what you're thinking. The show's called Just Passing Through. It should be an all-bow show. Hey, it's going to be 90% bow, guys. Some of the people that you're going to see in this show that hunt with a gun are going to be like kids. They're going to be my wife, for instance. They're not ready to cross over to the bow. So, hey, if you don't like gun hunting, sorry, we're going to be doing a little bit of that too. And there's nothing wrong with a gun, trust me. So you know what? I'm going to quit talking. We're going to get right into the episode. We're going to be taking a little trip back in time to 2010. This hunt never aired on any of the episodes before. It was actually filmed after the first 13 episodes that aired on Sportsman Channel were completely finished. And we were up there filming. We got one of the hunts was on one of the later episodes of the show. Anyhow, this is one of my bear hunts from Camp Grassy Narrows up in Moffett, Quebec. You guys, it's going to bring back a lot of memories for you who knew me 4 years ago. Check it out. Camp Grassy Narrows is located in Moffett, Quebec, approximately 135 miles northeast of North Bay, Ontario, on the shores of Lake Duquesne. When you arrive at Camp Grassy Narrows, you will be greeted by the owner, Deborah Mazrick, and she will show you to one of their spacious rustic cabins. It's fully equipped kitchens, showers, and comfortable beds so you can wake rested and ready for the day's adventure. There's lots to do at Camp Grassy Narrows, including fishing, bear hunting, small game and waterfowl, even moose hunting. It's a place the whole family can enjoy, so bring the kids. There's even a babysitting service so couples can dine alone and enjoy a delicious meal in the on-site restaurant. Camp Grassy Narrows is located on the shores of Lake Duquesne, hidden under birch and pine trees. It's a true outdoor paradise. For more information, you can visit their website at campgrassynarrows.com or give them a call and book a hunt of a lifetime price that won't wreck your budget.
Guess who? We came to bring a bar home, and that's what we intend to do. So move your big butt over and let me in the tree stand. I said move over, man. What am I supposed to do? Sit in your lap. We ain't doing that again since the last time. People still ain't quit talking. Hey everybody, today we're hunting at Camp Grassy Narrows up in Moffett, Quebec, my favorite place to spring bear hunt. This place has got multiple bears, and I mean great accommodations. Let's get settled in and see what happens. It's night number 4, my first night in the tree stand with a bow.
As the shadows grew long, this bear came to the bait. Its body language told me to wait, and I'm glad I did when this bear came out of the swamp. You know, having one bear on bait is a big enough adrenaline rush, but when you have two, man, it's like a adrenaline overload. Yeah, I mean, you know, and I knew I was going to have to wait a while. The way this big bear was checking out the scene, make sure everything was all good. He smelled me and knew I had been there, so it was going to take a minute before I could get the shot. And man, I'm glad he finally calmed down and committed to the bait. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's bow tuning tip. You know, every time I go to a show and I take my bow with me, it never ceases to amaze me how the people who want to talk about my rig. And I think it's great. That's the main reason I bring it. They want to talk about the things that I'm using and how I've got my bow set up, because they've seen me hunt and they've seen me shoot and stuff. I'm not the greatest shot in the world, but I like to hunt and stuff, and I get lucky. But they're always asking me these questions like, you know, why this, how you do that, this and that. So, you know, it's great, and I love to talk about this stuff and give tips as much as I possibly can. But what always gets them stumped is the fact they'll see that I've got a single pin, and a lot of people just can't comprehend a single pin usage. Now, I've got this HHA sight that's been on this bow since I've had it, and it's been on like the last 3 bows that I've had. It's a single pin, and it's a slider, so it is adjustable. And a lot of people were satisfied with that. But then I'll get the question too. They're asking, well, what do you do if you don't have time to adjust your slide? How do you know? You know, you can't just get the deer to walk into your magic yardage unless you're really good. Or seriously, you know what I'm saying? You just can't predict where it's going to go. So you have to have some type of, I guess, variance built into the system. But then there is. Okay. I want to tell you how I sight in, and I tell them the same thing. And when I tell them this, at first they don't understand, but when you'll have to think about this for a couple of days. You wake up in the middle of the night, and you're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be like, oh, I understand what he's saying. And you're going to be like, I hate him. He kept me up all night long. He woke me up in the middle of the night. Yeah, I hope you're not waking up in the middle of the night thinking about me, because if you are, you might have something wrong with you. But seriously, if you wake, you know, it's one of those things that's going to just hit you, and you're going to be like, duh, I should have known. Okay. What I do to set my pin is I'll set it at 7 yards. That's 21 feet. And now I'll set it at 1 inch high. My left and right's dead on the money, but I'm 1 inch high at 21 feet, 7 yards. And the reason I'm doing that is because that is getting the arrow still on its climb. That's when the arrow still has a lot of power. The arrow's still on that climb to the top of that arch, okay? That's where it's going to... And what you want to do by sighting it in at 7 yards, you get it dead on, 1 inch high, 7 yards, dead on. Start walking back. And you're going to keep shooting. Walk back 2 or 3 yards, shoot. Walk back 2 or 3 yards and shoot. And you're going to see that arrow continue to hit high for a little while. And then what's going to happen is it's going to start to get down, and you're going to get in your 0 point. And then you're going to get a little bit of yardage out of that. You're going to have that little flat plateau stretch there. And then you're going to start getting a drop. And you're just going to get to a point to where it's so crucial that you couldn't miss, okay? And then you just need to take note of what that yardage is. And it'll be different from a tree stand versus on the ground. Now, this is the way I've done it for years, and a lot of people will hear me telling this, and they're just telling me straight up, there's no way you're sighted in at 7 yards, you're sighted in at 7 yards. I'm good from 0 to 40 on the ground. I don't have to compensate. I can aim dead on the money, on the ground, from 0 to 40 yards, and I'm all over it. From the tree stand, it's the same thing. I got about 32 yards from the tree stand, and I'm good. I never have to adjust this. So, what's the great thing is, I hunt a lot of whitetails and I hunt a lot of turkeys. If I'm in the woods, that's about all I'm going to get anyway. You know, I'm not going to get anything farther than 30 yards on the ground, especially now you can see the spring's coming and everything's getting thick. There's no way you can get that far of a shot unless you get lucky openings. And who wants to risk making a bad shot anyway, losing an arrow or making a wounding an animal? And the same thing goes for early season with hunting whitetails, and even hunting them in the late season. You know, it's one of those deals. So that's how I set up my single pin. You're fighting the incline. You're going all the way to the maximum distance that arrow's traveling upwards. You're finding that point, and then you're finding the point of drop, and to the point to where you'll miss. So it's going to take a little bit of shooting. I know you guys like to shoot as much as I do. And that's how I set in my single pin. I hope this week's tip helped you out. Now, let's get back to the bear hunt and see how that turns out.
Holy cow. I ain't lying. I ain't even got, my stuff is hanging in this tree stand. It looks like my son's bedroom. It's an absolute mess. I was trying to hurry up because them bears was circling around here. I cut my thermocell popped on. I got my head net about halfway on, and there's a bear on the bait. I'm thinking, holy cow, so I'm just filming and trying to get my stuff organized. I'm shaking like a leaf. Fat boys shouldn't have this much fun. It's hard on their heart. I was sitting there holding my quiver under my leg because I've been shooting without it. And boom! Camp Grassy Narrows, another bear tag field. 7 successful hunts for me up here. I mean, and as many hunts, it's amazing. These people can really put you guys on the bears. I did not even have time to get my quiver hung up, and I had 2 bears on my bait. That bear went 10 yards at the very most, and it did the death moan. I heard it a second ago. I was sitting here with my quiver under my leg. I had an arrow knocked. Well, when I took the shot, that old bear was checking me out. It come right up here, the path that I walked in on, and was sniffing around. Oh, I got to get a minute to get calmed down, and we'll go over and check this thing out because that looked like a nice bear. That thing had a beautiful hide.
All right, let's see. Oh man, that bear was standing right about here when I shot. Yep. And there lays my fob. And here's my arrow, Lynn. Here's my arrow. It's stuck in this log. Holy goodness. Oh, look at that. Oh, dog. I guess I got 2 trophies. I got a log with an arrow stuck in it. There's all kinds of debris from the arrow coming out, sticking in there. That's pretty cool. I got my dang arrow stuck in there. You know what? I ain't even gonna waste time blood trailing it because it's laying, no kidding, 30 feet from right here where I was standing at. That thing didn't make it 30 feet. Let's go check it out. Come on. Whew. Yeah, let's get him. Oh man, what a bear. Look at the head on that thing. Goodness gracious, he's fell in this hole. He don't look very big, he's laying down in a hole. It's really big bear. Don't be making fun of my bear. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out how in the heck I'm gonna get him out of here. You can't get a cameraman for nothing. Oh man, look at that. Oh, is that not one of the beautiful black bear? Look at that. Man, I ain't gonna be able to drag him out here tonight. I'm gonna have to go get everybody. I'm the last guy on the road. I dropped everybody off at the base tonight, and I'm gonna have to go back and pick them all up. So it's gonna be dark before we can get him out of here. But we're gonna go ahead and get him moved out of this hole and take some pictures of this guy. He is beautiful. Look at the head on this guy. Oh man, he is a nice bear. All right, man. I tell you what, that was a short blood trail. It was a short hunt. I wasn't in the tree stand 20 minutes and already had 2 bears on me. This is a nice big boar, as you can tell. I mean, he's got a big skull, and he's probably going to go somewhere in the neighborhoods of close to 200 pounds. Easy 200 pounds. I had to move him out of the creek. You know, you seen a second ago, he fell down in that hole. He looked kind of shriveled up and small because he was rolled in a ball. Man, he is pretty. That's one of the prettiest bears I think I've gotten. Debbie, Jeff, thanks for having us guys up here again. Man, hope you invite me back next year. You know, that old black bear didn't have a chance against the Grim Reaper. And like their motto says, watch them drop. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Season 2 of Just Passing Through. We got a lot more coming your way. And you're going to have a lot more great tips, a lot more great hunts. And now it's your turn to interact with me. You can go over to the website at bowtendingtips.com. You can drop me an email. You can go to justpassingthrough.com and you can drop me an email. Tell me what you thought about the show. Tell me what you liked, your dislikes. I'd like to hear that because, you know, we're still editing and producing these videos as we go. So there's always room and time for changes. And I would really respect knowing what you guys think about the show. And I hope to hear from you. Until next time, you guys be sure to stay tuned. I'll see you then.